Everybody. So as always, I try to talk to you guys once a week, tell you about some thoughts that I had, anything interesting that could help you with life. So let's just get into it. Today, I am going to talk to you about feeling like it is too late to start something. Over the past 10 years of my life, I have had many of my ideas flop. And it sucks. I wish that I could go back in time and start a lot of my ideas sooner. And I never want you to feel that way. You will feel less of what I felt, a lot of regret, and you'll be able to start the ideas that you have in your head. So I've noticed that younger people will tend to believe that they are too young to start their ideas. They'll wait and wait and wait until one day you end up becoming an old person who wishes that they could have been starting their ideas sooner when they were younger. So I want to talk about how we can not fall into that cycle, and I'm going to talk about 3 different perspectives that will hopefully help you understand the different stages of life when it comes to idea creation, idea generation. So the first part is going to be about being young and starting your idea. This usually is the stage when you're having an idea or you're in the beginning parts of starting an idea and you don't really have anything solidified yet. Usually around these ages, people will feel like they don't have the resources to start their idea, they don't have the money, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the entire day to work on their idea because they have school or they have to do things for their parents or for other people in their family. The second stage is when you start to get a few resources. This is around the ages of 20 to 25. And this is where you have a bit more resources and a little bit more confidence in yourself to not only start the idea, but to create something tangible. In my opinion, this is the age range where you start to feel like you can start an idea, but you also still hesitate and have trouble deciding on if you should start an idea. And the third perspective is going to be anyone above the age of 25. And this is going to be more of a theoretical, speculative perspective on what I've seen from people that are over 25, since I am currently 25. So I can't speak for the people above the age, but I will talk to you about my experiences while talking to these people and some of the lessons that I learned while talking to people that were 20, 30, 40 years older than me, successful and not successful. But around this age, this is where people will start to feel a little bit older, no offense, and will feel like they have a lot more responsibilities to the people around them. Maybe they have kids, maybe they have gotten married or are engaged, and feel like they don't have as much time or opportunity to start an idea. And so this is around the time when they start to feel that regret start to settle in from not being able to start their idea or feeling like it's too late to start an idea. And so I'll talk about my ideas with that, and specifically with that age group, why it is not too late to start an idea. So there's a lot to learn in all of these perspectives. I think these are just general ages that I put, but you can honestly learn from these perspectives at any age that you're in, and I'm sure that you'll be able to take something positive out of it. For example, at the age of 25, I have felt the fear that younger people have of not feeling like I have the resources or the knowledge to start an idea. And I've also felt at this point that, like I said, I wish I could have started an idea a lot sooner. So there's little sprinkles of ideas from the first perspective, the first age group, and the last age group. And in general, I fall into the second bucket or the second perspective because, well, I'm that age. So I tend to also feel like I have some resources, but I don't have as much confidence in me. So yeah, I kind of put these buckets. They seem a little bit generalistic, but you usually don't find a 60-year-old, for example, that wishes that they had more resources. So these are general ages. They apply to certain age groups, but they are not inclusive to those ages. So to start off, let's start talking about the mindset of people that are under the age of 20. And to be honest, these are probably the things that I wish somebody would have told me when I was younger. The first thing is that there is no better time to start an idea than now. You are never too young to start an idea. I think it's important to understand that you have the power of the entire internet at the tip of your fingertips. So you have the resources to learn what you need to learn, whether you know it or not. And the other constraint is that you don't have time. So you may have school, you may have extracurriculars, and you don't have the time to start your idea. But at this age, you have plenty of time after school, even past all the activities, even if you're a part of sports clubs and you're part of debate clubs, you have the time. Usually, you won't have to work a full-time job. You won't have to take care of any kids. You don't have to cook any meals. And most importantly, you don't have to worry about the fatigue and the responsibilities that come with being an adult, paying rent, paying utilities, phone bills, etc. And so you have a lot of time that you could use towards these big ideas. And I understand that you have school, and after school you have homework and projects, and you have to study for all the tests that you have. But unless your screen time on your phone says that you haven't been on your phone all day, then I won't believe you. If your screen time is filled with a bunch of little bars, you have the time to start your idea. And it starts with looking at those bars and seeing where you can dedicate time towards the idea. So if you put an hour into social media, maybe you take an hour a week to put into creating something new. You just need to reallocate your time. So that's the first idea. Everyone has the same 24 hours. It's just about using your time differently. Nobody has an extra leg up. No one has 25 hours. It's just about you allocating your time correctly. So outside of using time differently, what else can get in the way? And like I talked about before, resources are a big thing: money, time, education, or knowledge. And in the past, I realized that I didn't start a lot of my ideas because I didn't think that I had the resources for it. I felt like I didn't have the money. I felt like I didn't have the fastest editing software. I felt like I didn't have the fastest computer. But these things help create the ideas. They aren't the reason the ideas exist. They aren't the reason that ideas aren't feasible or why ideas are impossible. The reason why ideas are impossible are things like the idea has been done before. The idea of an e-commerce marketplace is very hard to get into. It's very saturated, and Amazon takes up a lot of that market share. Competitor advantage and other things like that are the reasons why ideas aren't feasible. And just to be clear, competitive advantage doesn't make it impossible to do something, but it just makes it more difficult. But lack of resources is not one of those ideas. There's always going to be resources out there that are going to help you. There is not a world currently where you do not have access to the knowledge that you need in order for you to grow your idea into something that's tangible, something that people would want. And yes, those things that I mentioned before, like not having the fastest computer, it does hinder me, but it doesn't make it impossible. For example, if I didn't have a computer, I would go to the library and use the library's computer. If I didn't have the knowledge for it, well, I mean, I guess you could also go to the public library, but you could also search the internet. If I didn't have a good camera, then I would try to find someone who did, or maybe I would see if the photography club had a camera that I could borrow. I found that when I had a lack of resources, that was kind of the world telling me that I needed to be more resourceful in myself. I needed to find those resources myself. And here's the truth. Once you start an idea and you are not bound by the idea that you don't have the resources to do it and you go off to do it, that's kind of when things start to be fun and amazing. If I started an idea 9 years ago, when I was 16, then I'm sure that whatever idea I started would be amazing by now. Not because I'm a genius. I am not gifted to have an amazing IQ or to naturally get things, but because I believe that if you put enough time into something, put enough time into anything, you'll eventually become really, really good at it. And although I don't have an idea that I can show to you yet, because I'm working on it, I can use myself as proof. I have been working on myself for 25 years, maybe not all those years because I wasn't able to talk and think, so we'll give myself 15. So I've been working on myself for 15 years, which was most of my education and a little bit afterwards when I had a career. I graduated from college and I got a job and then found a better job. At every twist and turn, I would always try to improve myself. And I think that the fruition of all my efforts was being in the position that I'm in now. I'm able to have the privilege to speak in front of a camera and not have to worry about bills and the stress of things financially. And I'm not there yet. I still have some issues. I still have student loans. I still have a family that I want to take care of, but I'm in a lot better of a place than I was 5 years ago. And if I stopped 5 years ago and I stopped trying as hard as I did, then I wouldn't have the amount of peace and especially the amount of privilege that I have to be able to take some time to share the knowledge and to help make people's lives a little bit better by sharing my perspective. And it really is a powerful thing to just have the free time to tackle different types of projects or to tackle any passions that I have. And I want you all to get there. There's a lot of people that come from similar backgrounds like me that don't have the privilege to go to school and then come back after school and work on an idea because they do have to take care of their families, or they have those adult responsibilities at a very, very young age. And I totally get it. I was in that position too. But it is exactly those reasons why we have to keep on pushing forward, and why I'm pushing for you to put your best efforts forward so that you could eventually get to a point similar to me, to where I am now. I want you to be able to relax. I want you to be able to take a breath and to let your shoulders down, and to truly have the time to say that you can pursue what you always wanted to pursue, regardless of the amount of money that you need or the judgment of other people. And so the whole point of me taking a little bit of this tangent is because I want you to know where I come from and the perspective that I have in all of my videos. The idea is to make you better. I do not need this advice. I do not need to tell this for myself, even though a little bit of talking things back and teaching it does help me reflect. I've learned most of my lessons. I do not want you to make the same mistakes that I made. I don't want you to start at the age of 25, and I don't want you to wait until the stress has lifted and you can finally give yourself time to work on these ideas. I want you to work on these ideas while you're dealing with the stresses, because if you put enough time into it, whether you work on it when you have all of these things going on in your life or after all of the stresses are gone, 6 years is 6 years, 10 years of effort is 10 years of effort. And whether you're struggling an exorbitant amount or you are relaxing at home because you have nothing to do, putting in that time is something that will be indispensable to you. You will look back and see all of the times that you were consistent in your efforts, and you will see that it has amounted to something that's amazing. And I don't know what that thing is, but I know that it is amazing. I didn't know that I was going to have such an amazing job as a software engineer. I didn't know that I would be making 2 to 3 times the amount of salary that I used to make, that I would be making this amount of money after the first job that I got after college. I did not expect that from my first job, where I made $8.25 an hour, that I would be, I don't even know the math, but it's definitely more than that. So in a world where you may feel like things are impossible, life will surprise you and will give you a lot of rewards for your efforts. Even if you do not get this reward in the form of your career or grades, you will build characteristics in yourself that will make you resilient, that will make you tolerable to pain and struggles and challenges, and it will make you a lot better when it comes to anything that you want to pursue in life. So I don't stare at the analytics for my videos. I didn't stare at my grades when I was in college or high school. I just focused on putting a consistent amount of effort every single day. I tried my best to get close to 100%. If I reached 100%, I would go to 110%, and those days were pretty rare. But this is what I want you to do. The only thing that matters with an idea is whether you start it or not. You will not know if that idea is good or bad until you start it. And if you don't start, you will never know. And the thing that got me to eventually take the step into starting my idea was the decision to believe in myself. If you believe in your ability to make it successful, you need to make the conscious effort to start believing that your idea will be successful. And in the past, I didn't believe in my abilities. I was scared to start, and I gave a bunch of excuses as to why I shouldn't start. But it turns out that people being scared, and myself included, were scared of failing because of other external reasons. I was scared to let people down. I was scared that people would look at me differently. I was scared that people would laugh at my idea. And in a past video, I talk about how I handle judgmental thoughts and people. And if you're interested in that, then you could check out that video. I will leave a link in the description below. But specifically for this topic, when it came to failing, and I got past the idea of wondering what people were thinking about and how they were judging me, it came down to the idea that I didn't want to waste my time, that I felt like I was using my time more efficiently by not starting an idea that I believed was going to fail. And that was the problem. The entire time, and the entire 9 years that I didn't start an idea, was a waste of time. I didn't start anything, and I don't have anything to show when it comes to idea creations, idea generation, and turning something into a tangible product. And nowadays, where I am trying to start a product, where I'm trying to start to figure out how marketing works and advertising and how running a business is supposed to work, I have to learn things starting at the age of 24, 25 instead of when I could have been learning it at the age of 16. And by now, maybe, just maybe, I would be a little bit more knowledgeable when it comes to businesses. And again, the point here isn't to talk so much about the regret, but it's to give the idea that if you start things earlier, then you will be in a better place in the future. And to the point of people laughing at my ideas or thinking that it was a joke, the truth is that every idea is going to feel cringy. It's going to feel like a joke because it's not something real yet. You didn't work on the product. You didn't make it into something that has tangible evidence that it's going to work or be useful for other people or other users or other customers. So of course it's laughable, of course it looks silly, it's because it is silly, it's just a figment of our imaginations. But I promise that once you get things on paper, once you start writing it down or drawing it or coming up with some type of business plan, things will seem a lot less silly. And in short, ideas will always get laughed at until they're successful. People will think that you are crazy until your idea succeeds, and then they'll think you're not crazy anymore. And that's just the nature of a really good idea. Really good ideas will always seem crazy to the people that think that it's impossible, that it's silly, that it's unrealistic. But take any idea in the past 20, 30 years, think about Google, think about Amazon, think about the internet, think about virtual reality headsets or that weird augmented reality Apple headset that came out. And I only say it looks weird because it looks like a ski mask. And even that seems a little funny to people. People are joking around that it's a ski mask. But again, that is the nature of ideas. That is the nature of innovation. And that's always going to happen. So do your best to pass all of the glaring eyes that you feel are judging you. I promise you that no one is looking at you. Everybody's looking at themselves. So I talked about younger people. I talked about myself. And now I want to talk about the people that are above my age, the people that are above 25, the people that are starting to get more responsibilities and starting to believe that they are too late to start their ideas. Now, what I noticed is that ideas that do not start turn into two things, and they're both the same thing. They turn into regrets and they turn into dreams. People that really love an idea don't ever let it go, at least from what I observed. People will hold on to those ideas and will regret that they didn't start it, but they will also dream that they could start it one day if it were to fall into their laps. Everybody that is old, whether it's a parent or a grandpa, you can ask them, they will have that one idea that they wish they could have started, or that they started to some degree and failed but never got back up and decided to try it again. When you ask them this question, try to dig into it. Why did they stop? What could they have told their younger selves? And try to take what they say and use it for yourself. Use it to try and make sure that you don't make that mistake. But the reason why I say they're one and the same thing is because regret and dreams share the same time space. At the same time that somebody feels regret, they also feel like they can dream of an idea. And just like any other dream, whether you are 15 or whether you are 45, you have the choice every single day to pursue that dream. Again, all the concepts come into play, whether you're younger or older, the amount of resources you have, the amount of confidence you have. But the point is that dreams will always have the nature of an idea. They will always feel scary to start. They will always feel like there are a bunch of people that are judging you, and you have to move past all of that. And so what I would say to maybe me in the future or anyone else who's over the age of 25, has kids, has adult responsibilities, has a bunch of other things that they have on their plates with engagements, weddings, having kids on the way, things like that, is that you may not have as much time to start these things, but you do have dreams, and they are dreams that are important to you. And so I believe that you should always go for your dreams because that's what's going to make you happy. Yes, the other things in your life will make you happy, the kids will make you happy, the wedding will make you happy, but there's a certain level of individual love that we have to give ourselves, and all of that is accumulated into your dream, what you want to do, what you're passionate about. And this is important at all ages, but the truth is that the longer that you are alive and the longer that you do not pursue your dreams, the more chances that you have given up to pursue it. So what am I recommending to do? Do you just go off and do your own thing? Do you ditch all your responsibilities and pursue your passion? No, not exactly, because you do still love a lot of things in your life. I know that I'm starting to get to the age where I'm starting to cherish a lot of things and want to keep a lot of things in my life while I pursue a lot of my endeavors. And so the most important lesson that I would say about people that have a lot more adult responsibilities and want to pursue their dreams is that you need to master the art of saying no to people. And I can go into it in another video, or maybe just create a whole video that just talked about saying no to people. If you're interested, let me know. But saying no is the most powerful thing that you can do towards pursuing your own passion. You will miss out on events no matter what. The important thing is that you do not miss out on the events that are important to you. The events that are not important to you, you have to say no to those things so that you can focus on things that will actually lead you towards a happier life, something that you feel more passionate about. Going out to the clubs, hanging out, or just the random shits and giggles to hang out. Yeah, those are memories and they are fun. Memories are going to last forever, but regrets also last forever. And so there's a balance between the two. Make your memories, try to mitigate a lot of regrets, and that's kind of the key to making an idea and having a happier life. Obviously, there's a lot more involved. I don't have the world answers, but this is what has worked for me. This is what has led me to having a happier life and has led me to a place where I can again sit in front of a camera and tell you about all these things. I know a lot of people, and I've been in a position where I haven't been able to do this, and I don't want you to feel like you're limiting your potential because of your circumstances. I want you to have the circumstances that allow you to grow. So if this video helped you, if you liked it, if you want to hear more, then feel free to subscribe, hit the like button. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I always appreciate it. If this talk helped but didn't exactly get you there, I offer life coaching sessions, so feel free to send me an email. Feel free to sign up through the link in the description below. But I'm here for you in any form and capacity, and I'll do my best to help you out. As always, keep improving, stay productive, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.